You want a baseball stadium built, we call you. Tell me how this labor of love came to be.
It has been a true labor of love. When we got here, the field was really in poor condition, obviously, but it'd been loved to death, really. Over the years, so many people played on it and needed some tender loving care, so we were able to bring it together and put together a team to do a good renovation.
How long was the process, Murray?
It took us about 6 months to get the field put in. Started last fall and went into spring, and obviously got new dugouts, got new outfield grass and infield grass and new drainage.
What's the first thing you do, playing surface-wise? I mean, you know you're going to have to probably do the dugouts and all that.
Sure.
Like, what's the first thing? Is it drainage system?
A lot of it is. Yeah, we had to turn it counterclockwise about 5 degrees because, home plate was originally 85 feet to the backstop at the old field. A little far for a pass ball. It's a double, whatever. So.
Wow.
And the right field foul pole was tucked through the roof of the old field. So we had to back the whole ballpark up and tweak it 5 degrees and then marry all the existing conditions. It's an old stadium, it's 100 years old. It was lower on this side than that side, so it was a bit of a balancing act to make this one fit.
The vintage advertising signs are my favorite. How did you balance keeping the history while renovating it all the while?
It was always the forefront of all of our team between BAM and Populous and MLB. We wanted to keep the historical value of the ballpark intact, and I think we did that. Overall, we're really pleased with the way it worked out.
So when you're watching tonight, can you watch as a fan, or are you watching every bounce?
Every single
I knew it. Well, with some nerves.
Right,
huh?
right.
These infielders are needy.
No, I know.
They want it a certain way.
I know. I just left one that was there before coming here. So yeah, it's been quite a spring. So.
Yeah, Murray, you've worked a lot on these type of projects, these specialty fields. Just take us inside on what that process looks like when you're starting something like this kind of project.
Well, the first question we've got to ask is it large enough? And is the orientation going to work right? You know, for example, a lot of ballparks, places we go to, the orientation's wrong, the sun sets in center field, it just doesn't work. And then you look at the size of the space. If it's available there to do something, then it works. Field of Dreams in a cornfield, right?
Yeah.
You know, we played in 14 in Sydney, Australia. That was kind of the kickoff of these, playing somewhere else, another place. Yeah. It was an oval, and we were able to do some things there and have the Dodgers Diamondbacks open up the season. Then we went to Fort Bragg and on and on. Yeah.
So how many can sit here tonight?
How many here? We're a little over 8,000.
And how many prior to when you?
There have been quotes of 10,500 people sitting in the ballpark, but I don't know where they put them.
What's the most difficult? What's the most challenging?
You know, the challenging part, of course, is building something in an existing facility. And this was a challenging one, you know, where it's an open ground area. It's a lot easier.
How did you get into this line of work?
I grew up next to a ballpark and got home runs were hitting in my yard, so I started selling them back to the general manager for 25 cents a ball. And next thing you know, he said, "You're making too much money. You got to come inside and help us on the field." And well, fast forward, I'm here.
You're being humble. You're being humble. I read your story. You started shining.
Capalbo in my ear gave me a great question. He said, "Do you have a bucket list place you'd like to renovate?"
Bucket list place. Wow.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, I don't know. We've pretty much, I've worked in about 62 different countries in baseball. So it'd be tough to find one here off the.
Is there a particular facility in this country that you'd see like, hey, I could see a baseball field there, or I'd love to try to put a baseball diamond in that park?
Yeah, we've been looking at some places, in the future.
Yellowstone?
Yeah, you never know.
So when you drive around your neighborhood, are you like, you see a bad lawn, are you just like, what? No. Ringing doorbells? Like, what are we doing here?
No. I'm the shoemaker's shoes. I go look at my lawn, you know?
Yeah, you have no excuse, right, Murray? Your lawn has to look pristine, right?
No. You know, it's.
I mean, like if your neighbors get wind of what you're doing.
So I've been here for 20 days there and 10 days here, so it's been a run. So
all right. So if you're a neighbor, if you're in Murray's neighborhood, you might need to mow yard.
That's all I can say.
What major league park do you love the most?
You know, I've always loved the Pirates. PNC Park's really
beautiful,
nice.
Quaint.
Beautiful stadium. To see a game there.
Me too.
You know, grew up working with the Braves in the Expos and spring training complexes back in the day. So spent a lot of years there and then at Disney for a bunch of years. So
our paths have crossed before.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Murray, you and your team have done amazing work.
Beautiful.
Well,
And can't wait to see it in action tonight between the Giants and Cardinals.
Well, we're excited to be here, and it's going to be a fun night.
You'll sleep well tonight.
Yes.
Good.